Hi, this is an important note on how to organise a M.A.G group, prepper, retreat, organisation or commune so that it doesn't fall apart unnecessarily. Now, there were a lot of communes started in most of the Western world, Australia, New Zealand, America, England, Germany in the 1960s and during the hippie era. And come the 1980s, most, if not all of them, fell apart because people got greedy. They weren't wanting to share anymore. And each family or individual felt that they had a legal right to the land that they had been living on for the last 20 years because they had been paying into it financially. I believe that this was a direct result of the way the communes were set up. They were just thrown together by a group of people whose minds were addled by drugs, and they didn't put enough forethought into it. Thankfully, the homesteading and prepper community aren't as drug-addled as the hippies were, so we can do these same things with more purpose and clarity. So consequently, I believe the best way to go ahead with it is for one family to purchase the property that the community is going to be set up on, and that deed is solely maintained in the name of the purchasing family. Now, to run an organisation, to run any sort of land ownership in the Western world, you need a constant inflow of dollars, because it can quite reasonably be argued you never actually own your land. You constantly have to pay, first of all, the bank, and then once they're paid off, you still have to continue paying the government. So while you're paying the bank, you still have to be paying the government. They call it rates in this country. In America, it's called land tax. They have another name for it in England. I think it's GVT, or they call it some three letters, GVT or TXZ or something like that, something in tax. Anyway, it's money that you give the government so that they can spend it on things they feel important, such as garbage collection, libraries, roads, hospitals, things like that, whether you feel it's important or not. And if you don't give them this money every 3 months, they will kick you off your land and they will sell it in order to get that land. So, if you own land, you need a constant inflow of money. So, previously in the communes, everybody put in money to pay the rates. And they were told they were putting in money to pay the rates, which means when they wanted to leave, they felt they had been paying into the property, therefore they should have a share of the property. And it got very difficult, or people attempted to sell them a section of the property, which means if they bought 200 acres, they ended up dividing it up into small parcels of land, which attracts the need to have council approval for subdivisions and all this sort of thing. It caused a whole lot of problems, and then people felt that they owned a piece of the land, therefore they deserved to be repaid in dollars at today's rate for something that they had bought 30 years ago. And the communes collapsed because when more and more people started to leave, there was less and less money to buy out the people who were leaving. So the whole system came down like a house of cards. My solution to this is the owning family, we will call them the Grey family. The Grey family has the deeds, and they never sell a piece of the land to, let's say, the White family wants to come in. The White family does not purchase the rights to be in the community. The Grey family draws up a rental agreement, and the white family signs the rental agreement. And every month the white family pays rent for a section of the land. And that section of the land is a small house block, say about a bit less than quarter of an acre, up to about a quarter of an acre. And the way I see it is that the Gray family adds up just the expenses to keep the land. So that's the mortgage plus the rates. Now let's say that comes out to $600 a month. When it is just the Gray family and the white family pays half of that. So the white family pays $300 a month for the right to rent land to live on. Now let's say things are going well and they meet the Green family, and the Gray family decides that the Green family would be a suitable fit for the community, and the Gray family extends an invitation to the Green family. Now, depending on how open you want this to be, you can have it so that they have to be approved by the white family as well, or it can be just the Green family making that decision. But anyway, I'm getting my colours mixed up. The Gray family invites the Green family in. So now the $600 a month gets spread between 3 families. So the Green family starts paying $200 a month to rent the same amount of land that the white family was paying $300 a month for. Does the white family have a moral right to get upset because they were paying $300 for a quarter of an acre, and now the Green family comes in and they're only paying $200 for a quarter of an acre? Who cares about rights to get upset? Read your Bible. This situation is described exactly in the Bible. Go look it up, find it if you're interested. If you're not a biblical person, then think of it this way. The white family, because the Green family has come in, the white family's rent is now dropped to $200 a month. They get a benefit. It goes on. Let's say the black family is judged to be a suitable family to come in. Now, $600 a month gets divided up between 4 families. So that works out at $150 a month. Each family is paying $150, including the original Gray family. The Gray family is still paying $150 a month. Everyone, each family, paying $150 a month to live on the land. If somebody can't see the benefits of paying $150 a month rent for somewhere to live, perhaps they're too greedy to be involved in this program. Now, to live, one needs not just a place to live and something to live in, but food, water, etc., clothes. Part of the joy of homesteading is self-sufficiency. I realise that some families have mum and dad both working 80 hours a week. They cannot be expected to work on the homestead. That's fine. No worries. If they're working 160 hours a week between them, they should be getting a fair bit of money coming in, so they can afford to run their own car into town and buy their groceries and bring them back and cook them and eat them and be independent from the rest of the community because they can. That's not a problem. They're paying the rent. They have a right to be on that land. And as long as they are living in something that the government approves of, whatever that is at the time, they're good to go. However, we'll say that was our original family. I've forgotten the colour. Rental family number 1 is in that situation. Rental family number 2, mum is getting 18 hours a week paid work. Dad's getting no paid work. And because the government has got tight in some way, they're not getting the dole either. So they've got bugger all money coming in. They can make their $150 a week rent, or if another few families come in and it comes down to $75 a week, they can make their $75 a week rent. They have a right to live on that land. And they've got plenty of time on their hands, so they can work on the land. They might be digging and planting the veggie gardens and watering the veggie gardens, hauling water up from the dam with buckets and tipping it onto the veggies. They might be tending to the bees and producing honey. They may be taking cloth that has come into the community and cutting and sewing to make clothes for the community. They may be taking certain plants and beating and feathering them and spinning them and making the cloth. Whatever, they are doing homesteading tasks. So consequently, the Gray family keeps a total of how much work they're doing on the homestead, and they are given homesteading points. Now, homesteading points can be used to gain benefits from the homestead. They get homesteading points from beekeeping. They can use those homesteading points to get clothes that somebody else who has been getting homesteading points from making the clothes can put into the community. So the family number 2, who has beekeeping points, doesn't get honey. They get points to trade to the seamstress, who doesn't have clothes to trade. She has homesteading points. Now this puts the barter system on a fairer basis, because at that point family number 2 doesn't feel they own the honey. It's the community's honey. Let's say the Gray family slaughters an ox. Everybody who has homesteading points has clearly been working on the homestead. They have a right to some of that meat and hides and whatnot. Obviously, it has to be somewhat controlled. If they have no way to use the hides, they have no tanning capabilities, they don't get the hide, it goes to the tanner. And I believe that this will work. Now, let's say family number 3 decides they've had a gutful of this. They can't put up with the way family number 6 is behaving. They want out of there. Fair enough. Not everybody gets on. Some people decide this is not the lifestyle for them. They can move on. Family number 3 decides to leave. Do they have a right to any of the land or resources? No. They signed a rental agreement. This is not, and I repeat, this is not an investment opportunity for the families involved. They do not have a right to the land or anything it is produced. They walk out of there with what they walked in with. Now, if, as I said before, if they cannot see the financial benefit of being able to live somewhere for $75 a week rent, or whatever, maybe even $75 a month rent, they're too greedy for this situation to work, and they shouldn't be involved in the first place. I hope that this gives you an idea on how to prevent problems before they start. Thanks for watching.